Yes, we can. I have a dream. Ich bin ein Berliner. There are certain phrases that have come to define periods of time. They've inspired action and toppled regimes. And though we often forget the details of these moments, those words, these messages, echo through history and are the fuel of change. Persuasion starts with a message. And in this video, you're going to learn about what a speech message actually is, why it's important, and how you can go about crafting your own sticky and persuasive messages for your presentations. Let's get into it. Hi, my name's Rob Willis. I am a public speaking coach and trainer here in Berlin. Please make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications for weekly videos about how you can improve your public speaking and presentation skills. And also make sure you stick around till the end of the video when I'm going to be telling you about how you can get a speech building template absolutely free to use in your presentations. So what is a speech message anyway? Or rather, what isn't it? A speech message is not a topic like 20th century literature or rising inequality in urban areas. And it's not a special offer, get 20% off, this deal will end soon. It's not a product or a service. And it may not be the title of your speech either. A message, thesis, point or argument stakes a claim. It is a belief system upon which the rest of your speech will be based. Think of it like a proverb which Cervantes called short sentences drawn from long experience, like a stitch in time saves 9 or a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. You could also think of it like a pop song chorus. It's the thing that the song's actually going to build to and will be the climax, the very point of what's going on, the beating heart of its message. Or like an Instagram hashtag, a way that people are going to be able to refer to this idea and the way that idea can actually spread throughout society. Some great examples of speech messages would be things like "Don't mess with Texas."
Don't mess with Texas.
An ad campaign back in the 1980s against littering in the state of Texas. Or you've got 10,000 songs in your pocket, the original claim of the Apple iPod. Or with Simon Sinek's speech, "How do great leaders inspire action?" he keeps returning to the message. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So now we know what a speech message is. How do we go about actually making one and integrating them into our speech? To better demonstrate this, I thought I'd use the example of this video that you're watching now, how to craft a speech message. Because I had a title already, but that wasn't really something you could latch onto. So I thought it would be fun to actually, with you guys, create this as an example and demonstrate, therefore, the steps that you need to go to create a powerful speech message. Now, the first step is brainstorming, just getting ideas out of your head, as many as possible. What I recommend you should do is set aside 30 minutes and just beginning to write them down. Do it on Post-it notes or on an app like the one I'm using, Simple Mind. I'll be sure to link to that in the show notes below. You want to make it possible to move these ideas about later on. But right now, you're focused on getting ideas out of your head. Simple phrases that relate to the topic. And to help you come up with this, I thought I'd give you a few questions that you can ask yourself in this process. And they are: who is the audience and what do they know already? What keeps them up at night? What do they know about the topic already? How would your audience talk about your product or message? What positive benefits will they receive from following your idea? What are your objectives and what are theirs? What stories would bring this issue to life for your audience? Why would your audience resist your message? Why does this matter to you personally? And what action do you want them to take? I cannot emphasize this enough. You want to do this non-judgmentally. Set yourself 30 minutes and don't let yourself edit, delete, or draw any connections. This is just about getting ideas out of your brain. You can save the editing for a second session. So now we come to the second session, and this is going to be about moving those ideas around, finding connections between them. And in my app Simple Mind, I've organized them into topics and ideas. And then once you've got that kind of arranged, it might take some time. Get out a notepad and just start writing out ideas. Your brain is going to have drawn so many connections subconsciously by this point, you're going to have ideas flooding out of you. Just keep doing this until you find something that you quite like. So I came up with the message that I've used for this video. Persuasion starts with a message. If you're finding this video useful right now, make sure to comment "persuasion starts with a message" below to let me know that I'm helping you guys along. Now you've got your message, you're happy with it, now it's time to double check that it is actually a message. And in Joel Schwartzberg's book, Get to the Point, he lists a few tests that you can carry out just to make sure that your message is a message. The first test is called the I believe test. You need to be able to put the words I believe at the start of your message and it still work. So, with the case of this video, I believe that persuasion starts with a message. It works. Then you come to the so what or duh test, which is, could I spend more than just a minute defending this point? It cannot just be a piece of common sense because, as Dan and Chip Heath mentioned in Made to Stick, common sense is the enemy of sticky messages. You want it to grab attention and make a claim, and you want people to be able to argue against it. So for this video, persuasion starts with a message. Some people might argue, no, I want to do my PowerPoint first. Some people might say, oh, persuasion is just the authority of the speaker. There are many other things you can do to say that my point is not right. The final test is called the why test. Why does this matter? What's in it for the audience by listening to this message? Well, with persuasion starts with the message, I'm hoping that you guys are going to spend more time on actually working on your messages before you even begin crafting the rest of your speech, and definitely before diving into PowerPoint. I'm hoping that having done this groundwork at the beginning, your speeches are going to be more coherent, more clear, and more persuasive. Now the last thing that you need to do is make sure that your speech is understandable. So try it out on a few people and don't explain it to them beforehand. Make sure that they can understand of their own accord. And if this is a really big presentation or pitch, you should be testing out on other people anyway. And make sure when it comes to the day that whoever you're talking to can understand, receive, and be persuaded by your message. So now we actually need to build this message into our presentation. And in the persuasion code, they talk about U-shaped attention, which means that we're much more likely to listen to and retain information that's at the beginning and the end of what we're listening to. So make sure your message is at the beginning and the end of your speech. And it should be peppered throughout as well. Again, think of it like the chorus of a pop song. Drake says, started from the bottom 28 times in less than 3 minutes. Michael Jackson says he's bad more than 30 times. So when Simon Sinek gave his speech, he repeats that phrase, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, 7 times. To you it might feel repetitive, to your audience it feels memorable, engaging, and persuasive. So looking at our persuasive speech builder, I've built this message into that template several times. You can see that the introduction builds to the first time you'll say your message, and then with each supporting point you have to say how it relates back to that message again. And then you should of course bring it in the conclusion to end the speech. So you need to be bringing it a minimum of 3 to 5 times, probably more though. Follow these steps and you will have created a message which is sticky, engaging, and memorable. And this will be the most important thing that you can do in creating a perfect, persuasive presentation. If you'd like to get that speech building template, just click below and you'll be able to download it completely for free. You can print it out as many times as you want to use in your presentations and in speeches. If you've enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for weekly videos about how you can improve your public speaking and presentation skills. Thanks very much. Until next time. Bye.